Mr. Tetsuo Kobori established Tetsuo Kobori Architects in 2008. He believes that the role of architects is to create architectural experience with intrinsic value interacting the land, people, and the environment with the common sense and sensibility of the human beings. He aims for universal values with the conviction that the architects themselves need to embody the changes of people in the place and the changes of the area in the place. So without further ado, let us put our hands together for Mr. Tetsuo Kobori.
Hello everyone. I am Tetsuo Kobori, an architect, hosting a design Tokyo in Japan. Today, I am grateful to be given such a wonderful opportunity to speak to a large audience. Actually, it's my first time visiting Malaysia. It's amazing to see the bigness of the Kuala Lumpur city. I'm also impressed with a lot of greenery in the city. It's wonderful to see the mixture of urbanization and greenery, or the mixture of new and old. I would like to start by telling you about my childhood, as I want to tell you the reason why I wanted to be an architect. I was born and raised in Ogaki City, Gifu Prefecture, located in the center of Japan. The photo shows a landscape looking from my house. One time, when I went back from Tokyo and just looked outside from the windows of my old house, somehow I've been deeply touched by the landscape from there. Yes, it is a wonder I felt the way, because I used to see it so many times. In my childhood, I didn't like the countryside at all. I had strong longing for metropolitan cities, like this Kuala Lumpur city. I moved to Tokyo when I entered university. In the past, when I lived in the countryside, I never paid attention to its value or importance. But when I saw the photo of the landscape, I found it so beautiful. It is the landscape of a rice field. Just after the rice planting, light reflects on the water surface on the field. This light reminds me my childhood. To me, the rice field was a perfect space for playing, staying, and finding space to be alone. When I recalled my memory of the landscape, I am strongly convinced that the landscape is a traditional scenery of food. This is a staple for the human life, and the nature future are strongly remembered landscapes for the Japanese people. You can see the building in the photo. It is a Japanese temple. That temple was partly constructed by my father. My father was a master carpenter, and I used to wander around the building site. through this field and help him with some work. And I came to think, I want to be an architect in the future. From now, I'm going to talk about my design. I have been involved with many architecture design, and there is one consistent theme. This is a physical nature environment. I came across the theme by one occasion in my university life. I devoted myself to mountain climbing at the time. Japan is a mountainous country, and there is a series of mountain ranges called the Japanese Alps, located in the center of the main island of Japan. Among that, Mount Yari is my favorite mountain. It is located in Gifu Prefecture, where I was born. This photo was taken when I climbed to the Mount Yari on New Year's Day. I particularly like to climb in winter. The mountains in winter are all pure white and also soundless as snow absorbs all sounds. In the soundless world, light only changes. The dawn breaks slowly, and the dark blue world appears to me. When I saw the scenery, I certainly felt the earth was part of the universe. And the moment was really scared. Right after sunrise, the magnificent view in front of me changed into orange within seconds. I can feel the awesomeness of light. I can feel the human is saved by existence of light. Light is the source of life. Then my fear go away, and I came to think of going forward. Change in nature makes us find of important things. That is, nature is beautiful and admirable because it's changing. Same as human. In the architectural environment, I firmly believe that a state of change arouses our emotion. Also, I came to think that nature is part of architecture. Or I can state that architecture is part of nature. I will talk about another occasion that makes me think of natural environment. Please look at the video. This is a video taken when I visited Tonore Abbey, one of the Christian abbeys in South France. It was said the Le Corbusier designed La Tourette in reference on this abbey. I visited there to see the stone house and the beauty of the light. However, I happened to hear a beautiful sound from the speaker unit. Everyone there, including me, were listening to the sound. I wondered where the sounds came from. I moved forward. Actually, this woman was singing, and that in small voice. The voice echoed loudly over the stone space of the building. I would never have experienced something like that unless I had been to Abbey. I was totally overwhelmed by the sound. I think I understand the role of the church. I wondered how the existence of God can be represented in the architecture environment. The answer was light and sound. In those days, there was neither electricity nor speaker unit. People in all time carefully considered the way how light effectivity goes into room and how sound echoes. Architecture doesn't move, but interior part of architecture has contained an essential part of structure. Through the experience, I came to understand the importance of what takes place to us, the insight of the architecture. In other words, this is the architecture experience. Everyone wants to make most of nature if it is beautiful and harmonized with light if it exists. I think that is a natural desire. In the long history, human has tried to find a place to live, make a roof there, and living there. Each country and region have created its own human culture. The role of an architect, from my ideal, is with a shared human sense of sensitivity to create an architecture value that contains with valuable essence through dialogue with environment and local people. Next, I would like to explain 3 buildings in Japan that I designed. This one is called Logic. It stands for Rocky Global Innovation Center. Rocky is a nature of company, and also it's a meaning of filter in Japan. This building was designed for the company research and development of filters used for car engines. For this building, I adopted an amplifier space as a concept. I considered how space can inspire the human sensitivity. Under the circumstance, it was required to design a space where existence, engineers and developers can achieve the maximum creativity for innovative new products. Therefore, the main concept was to create a space which can maximize human creativity. Some of the space with a good sound effect that I mentioned before. Once we enter the space should be to one where human sense is stimulated. I have tried to think of any potential and land hazard inherently. This picture was taken when site survey was consisted. In fact, the site was not planned area originally. The client has owned the property in Hamamatsu City from long ago, and wanted to said to me, would you like to see? A lake in mountain. I stood on the site, looked over the whole area and the lake on the top of a mountain. I also felt presented sunshine and wind. I firmly believed that it was the best place of construction. This site is located on the headland along with Escab River. Wood that goes up along a river hits against the headland and blows into lower valley. This wind is also cooled down by the river in a good temperature. In Japan, there are 4 distinct seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Winter has snow, and summer is hot, like here in Kuala Lumpur City. In spring and autumn, seasonal wind blows constantly. I tried to have the comfortable and comforting breeze come into the interior of the building. This is a sketch that I have drawn right after the visit. The things that existed there will last forever, taking advantage of light, wind, and natural hilly terrain. I stocked the 3-dimensional floor with a roof that can transmit light and left in the breeze constantly from ground the river. I wanted to create an architecture from which people can appreciate the blessing of nature that the land gives. As I said before, Japan has 4 distinct seasons, and I believe that such seasonal change makes us creative. I want to provide an architectural environment where people can feel the seasonal changes that can contribute to the development of innovative technologies. Here, I would like to show you the time-lapse video. This is a mid-morning. The ceiling becomes brightly slowly. The ceiling can transmit light. Light changes little by little.
What's wrong?
When clouds pass through about it, it gets dark a moment. When it rains, we can hear the sound of rain. There is a one-room space, but it adopts different illumination, temperature, and ceiling light. As a false ceiling is used a filter product that is actually manufactured by this company. It is some like Japanese paper used to Japanese shoji. The filter also has a traditional function of absorbing sound. After the filter, as it is allows air to go through. through the filter indented in the ceiling, employees works in the space of feeling of light. They are our products, seasonal and climate changed. This is a photo of open windows. In spring and autumn, when opening windows and the top light fittings present window comes in, the window passes through the filter of the ceiling to go outside. When top lights fittings are open, air conditioning is set to stop for some section automatically. We don't use illumination in the daily either. This is a great deal of energy saving in spring and water. The great evolution for human being is a sense given by good as a gift. That is to be able to appreciate the beauty and comfort of nature. And the job of architect to create an underlying environment to help us get the sense. Architecture is just like speaker unit or something to amplify the pleasure to feel beautiful. Getting the sense can also encourage employees' creative things. I designed the architecture with that idea. At present, wild birds' eggs just hatched in the bush near the lake building. How architecture amplifies the benefits of nature. How seasonal change gives us pleasure as a benefit. Those are the main themes in designing my architecture. Next, I would like to show the two videos. One of Nikka Innovation Center and the other one of Showa Gakuen High School. Look at the time lapse. The ceiling is a concrete slab with the slit is open diagonally. The light leaks from there. There is a glass roof on it, so rain does not come in. When the weather is good, the glass attic open and the window flows from the concrete slit. The wall was concrete where lights are heated and become a heating element. Groundwater maintains a constant temperature of about 18 degrees throughout the year. It means cool is summer and warm is winter. I would like to show another video in school. Wait. Light in the summer in the street. This office is a free address office. This is a Showa Gakuen High School main building. In this school, the classrooms are placed around the library. The center is a library. The entrance and the staff room, teacher room, are all centered around the center library, so all people gather together in the space. This is the top right, and the space is full of light and wind. People find a favorite place. There are people who study and lunch and eating and study. People who are pensive. People who talk and so on. Light changes every moment. And people's behavior all change with it. Lastly, I will introduce my favorite painting. It is said to be the simplest painting in Japanese national treasure, drawn by Kusumi Morikage. I think this picture presents a perspective of Japanese people. There are three images in the pictures. One is a view of the nature. The evening face is a flower that blooms in the evening in summer. And the haze moon or full moon, we are called oborozuki or full moon. It means the time was the early evening in summer. It is a painting depicting the flow of the season from summer to autumn, the tradition of time of day, and the time of the family of Japanese farmers. This is second thing I would say. A happy family image of human being and human image. People are at the center of the painting, and people's happiness is the focus. Third is a way of the architecture to cover it. Goza floor. Goza is a Japanese style mat, grass mat. Bamboo column, bamboo pillars, and blossom plants roof with the architecture is built. I always say that even with such a simple thing, architecture can make people happy. I think that the main purpose of architecture is people's happiness. It's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.